Well, hey, friends, I'm excited to introduce you to Cristal Jacoba, who is our Turquoise Talk guest of the day. She's a business mentor, speaker, and the founder of She is Made for More movement, which is a global community of women rewriting their stories and building the businesses they were born for. As a former school teacher turned multiple six-figure entrepreneur, she helps women launch soul-aligned offers, sell with confidence, and scale without burnout. We had a great conversation about business, about life, about raising babies and doing all the things that we do as mompreneurs. So you're gonna love this interview, and I can't wait for you to hear from Cristal. So let's dive right in. Welcome to the Life Coaching for Mompreneurs podcast, where you will learn simple solutions to win at work without losing at home. Hi, my name is Martine Williams, and I am your host and CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer. And this podcast is your one-stop shop to creating a burnout-proof life and business by elevating your clarity, confidence, and courage. Friends, it's time to say goodbye to being the yes girl, to procrastinating on your goals and living in overwhelm. And it's time to say hello to creating healthy boundaries, healthy mindsets, and healthy habits so that you can achieve work-life harmony. Your next breakthrough starts here. This is the Life Coaching for Mompreneurs podcast. Let's do this. Well, welcome back, friends, to the podcast. I'm so excited. Today we have a Turquoise Talk guest, Cristal Jacoba. Thank you so much, Cristal, for coming on this show. I'm so excited to get to know more about you and what you do and how you help people.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to dive into all the things and see who we're going to serve today.
That's right. That's right. Well, tell everyone a little bit about you, your family, and how you got into the work that you're doing today. Let's just kind of start there. It's probably a long story, but
I'll do the condensed version. Like you said, I'm Cristal Jacobo. I am the founder of a community called She is Made for More. So my whole business started with community based. I had this
Mm,
gut feeling that maybe there was more out there. I was a school teacher. I did school teaching for 6 years, loved it until I didn't. Coming
mm,
from I'm a first generation everything. First generation middle school graduate, high school graduate, first generation homeowner, first generation car owner, everything under the books. And when you become first generation, there's also this burden that, wow, I already have way more than what my parents did. So how
mm.
dare I want more? And it's almost this little bit of guilt of, well, why do I want more if I already have more? So I shouldn't want more.
Yeah.
And how do I stay here? And I'm already this, I have this career this I work so hard for. I'm just gonna stay here. And that voice kind of kept going on for about a year until I had the realization. I was like, well, I'm not gonna get any younger. I can go figure it out. And if worse comes to worse, I'll come back to teach. And I took off. I took off. I went into the biggest identity journey of my life,
Yeah.
figuring out who I was, what I was doing, what I actually cared about, what I wanted to do. And it kind of led me to entrepreneurship. And I started documenting all my process through being a teacher. I was making the mission, the activity, what was I doing? What did I learn? How did I go into it? And I wrote this entire like diary of self-development, started a podcast with it. I ended up getting an audience, started an event, was teaching at my events the things that I was learning. And lo and behold, we built a whole community called She is Made for More, in hopes that when one woman steps into her more, it gives the other woman permission to know that her more is valid too. And as women started coming, I started teaching other people how I was growing my business, how I was making money. And we've been doing this for 6 years now. The community is a global community all around the world. We have women from Canada, London, Mexico, just everywhere around the world. And now I help clients launch, scale, and grow their business, whether it's through
Mhm.
events, whether it's through a podcast, whether it's through offers. And I speak all over the world, helping women just really embody like what does more mean and how to create content that sells and how to create a business that actually converts.
Yeah. I love it. I love your story so much because you started kind of with the unknown. Like you just had this voice right inside you that was like, "There's more, there's
Mhm.
more." And instead of like downplaying that or dismissing that, which a lot of us do, and you probably did for a little
Mhm.
bit, but you
Yeah.
finally came around, right? And you're like, "I'm just going to take the leap." I think it's a really important thing to talk about because I know there's women that are listening that they have this voice or they have this little like feeling in their stomach, right? That there's more and there's something else for them. But taking that first step is the hardest, I think.
Yeah.
is leaving the known for the unknown, leaving the familiar for the unfamiliar. But, and then now, as you have evolved, you've figured out more things. You've figured out what you want to talk about. And so I think it's just such a good testimony, Crystal, to just getting started and not getting
Hmm.
bogged down with what it's going to be in the end because it's evolving. I'm sure it's even now evolving. My brand has evolved over, many, many years. What I first started talking about is not exactly what I'm talking about
Yeah,
today,
yeah, yeah.
and that's okay, right?
Yeah, no, I think if you know you have that gut for more, it's not going anywhere. It
Yeah.
is not going anywhere. You can suppress it, you can stay there, you can, hey, this is fine, this is good. It's just gonna get louder and louder and louder. And what was
Hmm.
happening with me is that I was almost losing myself in the process. I was starting to
Hmm.
feel like the day-to-day life was just an out-of-body experience. I describe this as going to work every day. I would wake up every day at 5 in the morning to go to the gym, come back. I would lay on the floor with my German Shepherd. I would shower, I would get ready, I'd go to work. And the same thing was every single day. And it totally felt like an out-of-body experience where I started detaching from my life. And
Hmm.
I started thinking, well, happiness isn't a real thing. Nobody's really happy in this world. Everybody just kind of lives, everybody kind of works, everybody hangs out with their friends during free time, and then we just do it all over. It's this repeated pattern. No, I was just so detached from my life at that point where
Hmm.
I was doing what I thought I was. I was doing what I had worked so hard for because I had gone to school for 6 years at that point. And my master's, my credential, my bachelor's, I had done everything. I had followed to the T, and I started detaching from my life. And that's when I realized, well, I wouldn't say I was getting depressed, but it was a mixture of what is the point of even being alive at this point? And
Yeah.
it just kept hitting harder and harder. And I think a chunk of myself was getting lost in between of that. That when finally made the decision, one of the biggest things that I tell people is like, it's not going away. If you want to
Yeah.
start the foundation, the community, the podcast, the business, the side hustle, whatever it is, it's not going away. The sooner
Yeah.
you can lean into that, the sooner you can trust that. And it doesn't necessarily mean quitting your job. And maybe it's starting it
Hmm.
on the side, but the sooner you can find out if that's for you or if that's not for you, the sooner you'll recover that piece of you. Because that's what it is. We have a piece of us that's separated here and there and there. But the sooner you'll know, oh, yeah, it's for me or it's not for
Yeah.
me. And
Yeah.
life goes on.
Yeah. 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 No, I agree with that so much. And I have a little note that I write to myself or I have on the top of my page, like the sooner you get started, the sooner you get there. Like
Mhm.
how many times have we said, I wish I had started sooner. I wish I would have, just taken that first step or the next step. And so I love your story so much and being vulnerable and being willing to kind of share that with our listeners. One of the questions I always like to ask, because you kind of talked about it a little bit, is
Mhm.
burnout. We talk about burnout a lot here on this podcast and what it feels like for some people. Some people, it feels like just being, not inspired. For some people, it is like a physical exhaustion. For others, it's hospital visit. Like there's different extremes and different voices that burnout brings. So have you personally experienced burnout? If you have, can you kind of share like, was it from this moment of like, I know I was made for more and that was a version of burnout for you? Or have you had multiple versions of burnout that have shown up for you as a business owner and a mom?
I think for the ambitious woman, you're going to
Yeah.
experience it even if you don't want to, because you're
Yeah.
so passionate about the things you want to do and you give it
Yeah.
your all, whether it's motherhood, whether it's growing a business, whether it's you give it your all. And when we give it our all, we do experience burnout. Now, when I went on my self-development journey, one of the things that one of my coaches said that I'll never forget, he said, burnout happens not because you're exhausted, but because you're not doing enough of the things that you actually want to do.
Hmm. Yeah. They've heard that here before for sure. Yeah.
And it resonated with me because I'm like, no, I am. I am. I became a teacher. I'm doing this. He goes, no, what do you actually want to do? Like, what lights you up? And he asked me this question in front of around 50 people, and
Hmm.
I couldn't answer it.
Hmm.
Like, do you actually want to do in this life? Like, if tomorrow were your last day on earth and you're like, here's my list of things that I want to do, I had no answer.
Yeah.
And what I've realized now with burnout is that I experienced it when I was teaching where it just wasn't what I wanted to do anymore and I was burning myself out. I just didn't even know burnout was a thing back there because especially when you're ambitious, where you just want to,
Yeah.
what's the next thing? It's the next thing. Okay, I finished my degree. What's the next thing? All right.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
next thing? I bought my house. What's the next thing? We
Right.
have this list of things that we want to do because at one point they make us happy, or to some degree they do make us happy. And then when I started my business, again, I'm very ambitious. I went after it. Within 6 months, I replaced my teaching salary. By 9 months, I had doubled my teaching salary doing work online. And I got super sucked into it. I was missing
Hmm.
birthday parties. I was missing event. No, thank you. I can't go. I have calls on my calendar. I had 13 calls a day, every single day, Monday through Friday. I was busy.
Yeah.
And I also didn't have a baby. I was just, my husband had his work, I had my work, and it was just mind-boggling to me that in the same amount of time that I could be teaching, I was here on my computer making revenue, and I got super into it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I want to say March of 2021, I got married and I went on my honeymoon, and I had this realization where I didn't want to come back. I don't want to go to
Mm.
calls. I'm sitting here in the pool. I don't want to go back. And it was like, oh, I just burned myself out again.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I come back to every time now that I've been doing this for 6 years, which is easy to bring burnout, is every single quarter I do an alignment check.
Hmm.
What offers still excite me? What things do I want to do? How often have I poured into Cristal? Whether that's going on away for a few days, whether that's getting a massage, whether that's taking a little family vacation. Every single quarter, I analyze how I'm feeling internally and how my business feels in alignment. And I have
Mm.
this whole sheet that I pull out that I'm like, all right, the category of me, category of my family, and category of my business. What feels
Yeah.
aligned, what doesn't? And then I
Yeah.
pivot and move fast. So every single quarter, I will adjust my offers. I will adjust my offer suite. Going from being single to then getting married to then getting pregnant to then being a mom, I've adjusted my offer suite now 4 different times. So my
Hmm.
revenue hasn't dropped, but I've really realized that at the end of the day, I have to have capacity for what I'm creating. If I'm not having capacity, everybody gets the low end of me.
Hmm.
And it's not fair to them. It is not fair to me because I'm getting exhausted. So every single quarter, one of the things that I highly recommend is analyze your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Business, marriage, kids, everything, and what's making you happy and what's not. We
Yeah.
recently had we started quarter 2, and one of the things that I realized in my category of my of a relationship with me and my husband was we're both in a very hustle season right now.
Mm.
We started a third company, so we are very busy. And he's busy doing his thing, I'm busy doing my thing, and there's not a lot of connection anymore, which is ironic because we eat breakfast every day, we eat lunch every day, we eat dinner every day. We're both together so often, but we're together very on a surface level. And we had a conversation when we were doing quarter 2 alignment where I was like, oh, I'm realizing like I'm missing us,
Yeah. Yeah.
like boyfriend era when we were
Yeah.
just us. And he was like, wait a minute, I didn't even realize you were doing that because we're together all the time. I was
Hmm.
like, yeah, but we're not together. And I didn't even know I needed it until I
Right.
sat there and kind of asked myself. So now we've added that to our schedule of like, how do we do this? But it's very important that what worked last week might not work this week. What worked last month might not work this month. And it's really, really important to me that every single quarter we adjust and we align what's true and what's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can't, what's the saying? Like you can't measure what you're not, or you can't manage what you're not measuring, right? So
Hmm.
same thing goes along with your personal stuff, right? Too, like just taking that time to align. And I think for a lot of women, we don't take the time to do that because of maybe shame that might come up or judgment that might come up for where we are. But where you are is just where you are. It's not who you are. But you can't change something if you're not willing to see it, right? And to be
Hmm.
able to do something about it. So I love that you do that on a quarterly basis. I do talk about that with my one-on-one clients as well. Like, because then you can do something about it. You can be really clear
Hmm.
on, because a lot, I think you would probably find this too. A lot of them will say, well, I can tell something's off. Something feels off, but they can't pinpoint it. And it's because they're not taking that time to really like look at those different areas and say, okay, where is it coming from? There's probably one, maybe two areas that are spilling into the other,
Hmm.
8 areas. And I think for a lot of us, we try to separate as business owners, ambitious women, and like whether you're married and you have a family or not, you try to separate the two and they're blended. I mean, there's just
Hmm.
there, what happens at home is going to impact what happens in the business. What happens in the business is going to impact what's happening at home. So trying to separate them is like it's just not a good use of your energy to do that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your business, like what it is that you're most excited about in your business right now. What are you finding? Because I love when you said like looking at my offer suite every quarter. Because I also
Hmm.
find for entrepreneurs, like sometimes we're like, well, this is my offer and I'm going to stick to this offer. But what I have learned in the last 2 years that I've been working on is I'm a very disciplined person. Like I'm disciplined, I'm going to do it, I'm ambitious, but sometimes that discipline overpowers the desire. And that's where my burnout comes in. Kind of like what you were saying. It's like, what do I want to do? I can do any of it because I'm very disciplined and I'm going to get it done.
Mhm,
But like, what
mhm.
actually is exciting for me to offer? What experiences do I want to provide for my clients? And for me right now, it's definitely taking it more offline and more in person. And I'm so excited to do it. And I'm so excited to market it. And I'm so excited to sell it. And I just think as entrepreneurs, we can just get stuck in, well, this is the brand, this is the offer, and I just have to stick with it. Hey, friend, let's talk. It's time to book your clarity call. We are going to spend 1 full hour focused on you. A clarity call isn't about pressure, it's about possibilities. It's about you. You having a space to talk through what's on your heart and mind, you walking away with a clear vision and practical next steps, and you feeling confident in what's next and how to get there. You don't need to have it all figured out. That's my job. All you need to do is show up, and we'll figure it out together. This is the best hour you can invest in yourself right now. Not in 6 months from now, not next month, right now. And don't just take my word for it. Here's what one of my coaching clients had to say after working together.
Working with Martine helped my confidence in starting and growing a new business. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I wasn't quite sure how to accomplish it. Martine helped me work through my ideas based on the results of my pro scan, and having weekly calls really helped me stay focused and working toward my goal. I highly recommend working with Martine for those who want to grow their business or who are just getting started. Having that focused time to work and work together is priceless.
That transformation, it starts with one conversation. It's time to stop spinning your wheels and start making real progress. So head right now to martinewilliams.com or in the show notes and grab your private clarity call spot on my calendar before they're gone. And since I personally monitor my inbox, if you don't see a time slot that fits your calendar, just send me an email at martinewilliams.com with 3 times that do work, and I will make it work for you. All right, friend, let's get back to the show.
Yeah, so we host 7 live events a year.
Mm-hmm.
That is a multi 6 figure thing that we do. It works. Now, last October, I shut it down. So
Okay.
from the outside, it's like, oh, well, why is that happening? What does that mean? She's shutting down a 6 figure stream because both of our events are 6 figure events.
Mm-hmm.
And I completely shut them down this year. I was like, hey, I'm a big believer in you pray for the miracle. You got to meet God in the middle.
Yeah.
What are you praying for? How are you moving? Because God can't do all the work. He needs you to move too. And one of the big things at Seasons of Life that I'm in is we want to call in a second baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my husband realistically, when I was doing my alignment checks, I sat down, I was like, realistically, I am so busy. I have so many events right now. It's worked, even with my son. My son is 2 years old now, and I've still been able to run 7 live events a year with a toddler. I'm
Yeah.
breastfeeding in the back. I have him.
Yeah.
He's so used to the events. Yeah, I just never stopped my life when he was born. I just kind of kept it and he adjusted to it. But I told him realistically, now I have a toddler and I'm thinking of a newborn. How am I right now? My capacity is on one, so I'm going to take the year off. So I decided to take the year off. I announced it at my last event in October, and that just meant realigning the offer suite. So
Yeah.
we dove more into passive income.
Mm-hmm.
I am big on being with my clients. I'm very, very involved. I know your business, I know your offers, I know what's happening in your life. I know the problems and we're addressing them really fast. One of the phrases that I say in my world is we move fast and you're going to get results fast. That's just who
Yeah.
I am. That's how I work. And I've seen it. My clients are hosting 150-person events out of state. One of my clients recently just this Saturday had a 50-person live podcast event. She just launched a community. In
Mm-hmm.
48 hours, she made $12,000. You're going to get results in my world because of the
Yeah.
way we move. But with that being said, because I'm very involved, I told them, I was like, either something has to go, either the events or something. So we shut it down. We went more into passive income, which means courses. I had a
Yeah.
little bit of a resistance to courses because I haven't put out courses because, a lot of things could happen. You could buy the course, you don't get the results, you buy the course,
Right. Yeah.
you don't do it, you buy so many things could happen. So for the last 6 years, all my work has involved some type of life coaching. You're either a container with me in my pocket, whatever it is, calls. And I love it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And now with this season, I was like, all right, how am I going to free more time up? So I did. I dove into courses. Now we have courses, we have programs, which have been amazing. One of the
Mm-hmm.
ways that I still found a way to add one-on-one support is that we have pop-up calls in the courses. So whatever course you're in, there's pop-up calls that happen throughout the year where you come in live and you're still getting to pick my brain. I'm still getting to dive into your business, and it works. So we dove a lot more into the digital aspect.
Mm-hmm.
We did more virtual events now. So it's still accessible to our community. We launched a community hub where community members could come in. And then we have our mastermind. My mastermind's 90% sold out for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
mastermind, now we're pushing it out. We have a different tier offer where you can come in and get support if you're in early stage. If you just want to hit consistent income in your business. So we've dove way more in creating more entry points in our offer suite as we had before. So again,
Yeah.
I believe your offer suite has to support the life you're in. It has to
Yeah.
coexist balance. It has to coexist everything. And the biggest thing that I see with entrepreneurs is that one offer is working, so they stick to it, stick to it. Again, like the events. It makes sense to
Mm-hmm.
keep the events. It makes sense this shutting down two six-figure offers like wouldn't make sense on paper, but actually it makes sense perfectly on paper
Mm-hmm.
because it's called like an intentional pause where you pause and then you double your revenue through different avenues. So one of our six-figure avenues, we already replaced it and it's barely April.
Right.
And I was telling my husband, it feels really weird because I don't have tickets I'm selling. I'm just wandering around the house. What do I do? Because we have so much space. But I'm like, I
Yeah.
have to remember that when this baby comes, I'm not going to have
You're
that
not going
extra
to have that
space.
space. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very intentional with offer suite. Like your offer suite should match the life you want to build. Now,
Yeah.
that also means that you could build. This has actually happened where I've built courses and the week before launch, I'm like, actually, I don't want to do this. And I'll flush it
Mm-hmm.
down the toilet and I'll pivot. In my world, we move fast and we pivot fast.
Yeah.
Meaning, all right, if that didn't work, we don't take no's personal. If you were 100 no's away from the dream life that you want, would you stop after one no? No, you wouldn't.
Right.
If you
Right.
knew you were
Yep.
100 no's away from, hey, you're going to hit your $1 million year, would you stop? No, you wouldn't. You would get so damn excited every time you got a no. So that's one of the whole things that we move in our world. I'm like, okay, well, you got a no, all right, then we pivot. All right,
Yep.
that didn't go how you thought, then we pivot. And we'll take everything as data. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
did
Yeah.
people not buy because the price was too high? What was your biggest objection? Okay, they were saying they couldn't afford it. Okay, great. So they weren't saying they didn't want to do the work. They were saying they couldn't afford it. What's a mini offer that we could add down now as your down sell? And then the next time we launch, which is going to be like in 2 weeks, we'll launch this again. And if they can't join, we'll have a down sell now. So we'll catch all your revenue coming in, even though they can't get into the main offer. And we've adjusted multiple times for my clients, and they've had 48K in about a week.
Yeah.
They've had $40,000 in 7 days because we're
Mm-hmm.
constantly adjusting their offers in a way that's going to catch the revenue of other individuals that want to plug into the world. Because the truth is, like, we don't know. We've never done this. So we think we're
Right.
launching
It's
one
all
offer.
theory. It's all theory
Yeah,
until you put it out there to the world. Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to launch one offer. It's going to work. Well, yeah, but also there's the connection aspect too. 90% of the time, I see this all the time in entrepreneurs. You get this beautiful idea and it's great. And then tomorrow you start selling it. Girl, there's a disconnection between your audience and the offer.
Right.
There's a
Yeah.
whole stage you need to do. It's like the pre-awareness, the connection. People
Yep.
don't know that they need this. So how can you make it aware that they need this and bring the problem up front so that they identify with the problem?
Yep.
That is a stage of launching. And
Yep.
many of us don't know because we've never done this. This is where you
Right.
start catching your leads and then you go into your offer. And then in that offer, if people buy or people don't buy, you adjust your strategy. And then the next time you do this, you've built an offer suite now where it's going to collect your data, it's going to collect your leads, and it's going to collect revenue in a way where it's not going to burn you out. So that's
Yeah.
something that I constantly do in all seasons of life and quarterly too. I'm like, all right, what isn't working? What isn't working? Okay, great. One of the things that I realized with our community hub was closing down the events. I didn't have any type of community hub because I see my people 7 times a year. People fly in from all over the world. They meet, they connect. Something really beautiful about the She Is Made for More community is that women create opportunities for each other here. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not the star of the show. The community is called She, meaning the other woman. It's not even like I made for more or made for more in general.
Right.
And over the course of 6 years, I've seen now women get together for the first time, meet at our events, they host retreats out of the country, they host
Mm-hmm.
podcasts together, they become best friends. We have a group of girls who there's 7 girls who met all at the events, all from different states. They have an annual girls trip every single year because they love each other so much. So
Yeah.
there's so much love and connection in our community that people are hitting multiple six figures together that wouldn't
Yeah.
have done it by themselves because
By
they needed
themselves.
that other person. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. And when we shut down the events, one of the things that I didn't know I needed was a community hub. Well, I've never needed it because I have live events. Now that we don't, I'm seeing different people doing different things. I'm like, no, they need to connect back to each other because they need to know who's doing the what. Example, I spoke at an event in Nebraska. The 7 keynotes all came from the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
She created her event. She's like, I wouldn't put anybody on my stage that's not my she's made for more sister. She reached out to the community girls. Every single girl flew to the event. Some of them were their very first speaking event at that event.
Mm.
In February, one of my clients hosted a retreat in Mexico. All 4 facilitators came from the She's Made for More community. So
Right.
what's happening is that in our community, women are moving, but they're creating opportunities for each other. And
Yep.
because there's not events right now, they're capping at who they know, whoever they connected last year or the year before. There's no new members coming in because we're not having live events. So we created a community hub and now other people are coming in. One of our girls just joined the community 2 months ago. She already booked 2 speaking engagements from
Yeah.
other members in the community. So
Yeah.
it's just something that the community hub I didn't know I needed, but I wouldn't have known if I wouldn't adjust my offer suite to, okay, well, what does my audience need? How am I going to bring in revenue into my world? And
Mm-hmm.
what's going to support all of us in our ecosystem? And that's kind of where the community hub is. So a lot of the times when you think about your offer suite, it's like, okay, getting real on your numbers. What are my numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't know
Yeah.
your numbers, you're not going to raise your numbers, right? So what are your numbers? Okay, is it this? Am I happy with this? Do I need more revenue? If I need more revenue, what is my community missing? What's going
Yeah.
to currently support the offers that I already have?
Mm-hmm.
And then adding that to your offer suite and then launching that. And it doesn't have to be a forever thing because we launched this as a 1 year membership. We'll see how
Yeah.
it goes. I will see if I want to keep it next year. I'm not committing to it, and they know they're not committing to it. So it's just 1 year and seeing how it goes, and we'll adjust. But again, that comes in because of the season that I'm in. I want to create more where I'm highlighting them. And when this baby comes in, how can this hub support each other? We have more one-on-one calls in there for each other, within each other. That doesn't necessarily need me to continue to provide income for my family.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Mhm.
think it's really cool to just like my kids are 18 and 21. And I
Yeah.
remember growing my business in the nooks and crannies of like their nap times and their nap
Mhm.
schedules and not wanting to sacrifice, time with them, traveling to go speak and to host
Mhm.
retreats and to be a traveling keynote speaker and all of that. And now, because, they're 18 and 21, like they don't really want to hang out with me as much as I would want them
Yeah.
to. And so being able to pivot my business a little bit more offline, it's just really cool, I think, for everyone listening, no matter what season of life that you're in, whether you have littles at home or you have, adult children that are now about to fly the coop, you can build your business and your
Mhm.
offer, like you said, around the life that you're trying to create. And listening to that voice that's saying, let's try this or let's do something different or what really kind of lights the fire within and not dismissing that away because I did try to dismiss it because I've had an online business for 16 years.
Mhm.
And so trying to get more offline, I definitely pushed back a little bit or resistance was there because it was just I haven't done that in a really long time. So
Mhm.
anyway, there'll be a time where you'll get back to Crystal doing those, 7 events in the year, and I know it will, but you're in a sweet spot bringing in a new baby and having two. So I'm excited for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to my husband about that and I was like, I love the events and running because I've done it so long. We've done 7 events for the last 6 years. And running
Mm-hmm.
events to me is really easy. Like it's not
Yeah.
hard. They're
Mm-hmm.
profitable. They make sense for our offer suite, but they just don't make sense right now for me. I love
Yeah.
them, but I also being away hosting a 3-day event. Now I'm saying no. Well, my husband and my son come with me to the hotel. They're running around. They're there, but it's still very different. Where
It
in
is
my
different.
mind, selling the ticket, it's just a whole different. So I told my husband, like, I love it, but it just
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense for me right now. And
Right now. Yeah.
it was this feeling of like, you know what? Like I could do whatever I want. I've grown this business multiple times. What actually lights me up? And again, because we're ambitious, and anybody listening to this, if the dream is in you, it's for you. So no matter how much you hush it, it's gonna come back. Um, we know my whole saying that I tell everybody is like, we're the type of people like, if you throw us to the wolves, we're gonna come back leading the pack. It's who we are. Stop
Yeah,
downplaying your potential, stop downplaying who you are. And again, we shut down one of the events, we already replaced that income and it's March. Like we
right.
knew, you know what you want. But yeah, I think the beautiful thing about that is that you get to create the life that you want any way you want. Some people
Yeah,
have kids, some people don't, some people are doing this, and you just adjust and you pivot. And there's
yeah,
no, it's not about failure or not, something didn't work or I don't have the capacity. No, you are literally an evolving human. Like
yeah,
you said earlier, your
yeah.
desires are going to change. In mine right now, I'm very in my selfish mom era where I'm going
Hmm.
to pick my kid over anything all the time. Unless it's
Yep.
going to make sense for my business, then I'll do it. But yeah, I'm very present in mom. When I got interviewed this week at a podcast live, that's what one of the questions they asked me. They were like, Crystal, you're a very present mom. Like online,
Hmm.
you are always with your son. Everywhere you go speak, he comes with you. How do you manage doing that? I was like, well, I've built an offer suite that supports that. While I'm here
Yeah.
speaking, I've already made sales over the phone and
Hmm.
I'm here with you guys. So it's
Hmm.
building the offer suite that makes sense for you in that season of life.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think some of that boils down to confidence. Like it's a woman can love her offer, but still struggle to sell it. Like what I was hearing you say is something that one of my coaches teaches is about being able to turn the money faucet on and turn it off, right? So you know how to confidently turn the money faucet on when you need to, and you also know how to turn it off when your son or your family requires you to be a little bit more focused over there. And I think there is like that's a confidence, right? To know that I know how to make money, I know how to sell, I know how to love my offers enough, I know how to market that to women or whoever your client is to bring them in. So what would you say to someone who's like, I love my offer, but I still struggle to sell? Like, I don't have the confidence in selling it. Quick pause. If you've been listening and you're ready to stop performing your life and start leading it, if you know you're ready to feel better now, not later, and you're ready for support that actually creates sustainable transformation, I have private one on one coaching spots open. And inside this coaching, in Illuminate You coaching, we don't guess. We use your unique personality blueprint built from the science backed personality and performance tool called the Pro Scan, the one you've heard me talk about here in the podcast. This is used so that every decision, every boundary, every shift is designed specifically around your wiring, not someone else's. This is my aligned success method. It's not hacks. It's not try harder. It's not mindset glitter. It's a real solution. It's rooted in science, strategy, and your unique design. So you can lead your life as the woman you actually are, not the woman others expect you to be. Now is the time. Take the step. Book your clarity call at martinewilliams.com/clarity. All right, back to the episode.
Oh my gosh, I love this question. So I come from like borderline poverty. And we had 7 families living in a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. That's all I
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So learning how to charge, learning how to make money, this was really freaking hard for me.
Yeah.
Going into teaching, we don't go to become teachers because of the rich paycheck.
No, you don't.
We generally want to serve and we care. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that I've learned that most of the people that I attract, they're coming from nursing, they're coming from these jobs where they've wanted to serve all along.
Yep.
So the idea of being able to charge feels really icky. It feels really
Mm-hmm.
hard. It feels, I don't want people to think I'm money hungry or that I'm doing this for the wrong reason. So the first thing that I recommend to everybody is work on your money mindset. Now, that's not
Mm-hmm.
just affirmations, is I have a
Yeah.
whole ritual. I have a whole podcast on this too, and anybody wants to listen to it, but I talk about the exchange of receiving and frequency energy. You
Mm-hmm.
need to learn how to receive, and that also means receiving through sales.
Mm-hmm.
Quick little thing is if you haven't wrote a letter to money, you need to do that ASAP. I write letters to money every single quarter. Hey, money,
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, and my money's a persona. He's a tall man. He has dark hair. He wears a blade. Like, he's the coolest guy out there just closing deals left and right.
I
And
love that.
he's a persona. Like, I write a letter to him every single quarter. Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Hey, whatever you're feeling about money, if you're feeling scarcity, if you feel like, hey, I've had women who write letters who are like, hey, I'm so tired of you. Like, you're so inconsistent in my life. I hate you so much and I'm afraid of you. And you have to build that relationship with money, because think about revenue as, or money. If you're afraid of money, why would it come to your house? Why would
Yeah.
someone come to your house that doesn't feel wanted there? It sounds
Mm-hmm.
so silly, but one is I write quarterly to my revenue, my money.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is I don't play, because I grew up borderline nothing. I don't play about my energy and my frequency when it comes to receiving. So even grabbing $1 water at the store, I'll swipe my card and you'll hear me say every dollar I spend, I make it back 10 times,
Mm.
because it's so easy to get caught up in lack. No, there is literally abundance everywhere. I play around with the energy. I know when I go to Target, I'm going to find a parking lot in the first spot. Why? Because I fiercely believe it.
Yeah.
And to this day, I found it. And it's something
Right.
that I teach all my clients, like, play with the energy. Life gets to be this good. Every single sweater that I have in our merch in our community, there's a thing here on the wrist that says life gets to be this good. So when you pull down when you have your sleeve, it's not a matter of like, there's always going to be chaos in life.
Yeah.
But if your motto is life gets to be this good, you're going to find the good. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
find the good things, even in the tears, crying. Life gets to be this good. And it's
Yeah.
it's it's an energy frequency that we have. So with that being said, selling is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are
Mm-hmm.
afraid of selling, if you don't have the confidence, girl, sell $1 offer. I don't care.
Right.
If
Yeah.
money is the thing stopping you, like you're afraid of, oh, people are gonna think this, or I don't, then sell $1 offer. I had a person approach me at the podcast event that I did, and they were like, Crystal, I work so hard and I'm trying to pay my rent and I'm $74 short for my rent. The first thing that came into my mind is like, why don't you sell a $5 offer?
Yeah.
Why do we think we have to put these big numbers? At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, want to get better at selling, put in your reps.
Yep.
Reps just
Yeah.
means sell $1 offer. I can't
Mm-hmm.
tell you how many times I've had clients who are afraid. I'm like, okay, your challenge this month is to sell a call. It's a $1 entry. What do
Mm-hmm.
you mean? It's $1 entry. Now the game becomes how many people can we get in there in that Zoom? You would have done the Zoom call for free anyway. It's a
Right.
dollar
Yeah.
entry. How many people can you reach out to? Hey, I have this beautiful call. I know it would benefit you. It's a dollar entry. Let me know if you'd want to. Yeah, sure. Send me the link. What's happening in your mind is you're putting the reps in, and your brain is learning that receiving is safe and that making money is safe. And
Yeah.
until those two things do not connect, you will cap your income every single time, because you
Yeah.
need to feel comfortable with making money and you need to feel comfortable with taking up space. So if you notice you're not feeling comfortable or it's hard selling, sell a low ticket offer.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what's your freebie? Everybody
Yeah.
has a freebie. Okay, well, put a price on your freebie.
Yeah.
Hey, for this month only, it's my birthday. That I had a birthday this month in April. Hey, for this month, it's my birthday. You can get into my world for $34, $340, 3,400, or $34,000.
Yeah.
Those offers don't exist, especially the $34 offer. It doesn't exist. But
Right.
one of the things that I'm like, okay, well, how can we have fun with receiving every single month in my world?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
reason why I'm so good at selling is because I actively sell on my platform. Again, sell $1 offer, sell a
Yeah.
$5 offer. Hey, my offers are normally whatever your offer is. If you're noticing people are not jumping into your world, put it on a sale, pop-up sales. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
for this month only, we have this. So watch how many people, especially when I started, I was doing $22 intensive calls.
Yeah.
Nobody was buying them at $300.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you have to gain the trust from people. And especially when we do this, no one knows you. You know what you know your value. People don't trust you, people don't know you. Hey, guys, I have this really fun idea. I went on a walk right now and I was on my stories. I was like, hey, I'm going to do $22 intensives. That means you have 60 minutes with me. We're going to dive into your business, your offers, everything for $22. I'm only going to do five. If anybody wants them, let me know. People started, hey, I want it. Hey, I can sign up. We started getting the reps in. I started getting the confidence of like, damn, I'm so good at this. Then I
Yeah.
started selling more and more and more. We started getting testimonials. We started doing this. Now my intensives are $1,500 when
Yeah.
they used to be $22. So
Yeah.
if your big
Yeah.
thing is that you don't have the confidence, girl, don't worry about it. The confidence isn't you're born with it, it's a skill. And the
Yeah,
quicker
for
you can put
sure.
your reps, the quicker you can make money in your business.
Yeah. And I think that's a powerful point is that you're not born with it. Like I think
Hmm.
they see you and they see me and like, oh, it must be nice to be confident. And I'm like, but they didn't see all the behind the scenes moments
Hmm.
where we were doubting and fearing and getting the reps in, right?
Hmm.
They don't see that. And so I think again, like it's a skill that you can develop. Leadership is a skill you can develop. Like there's very few things that are not skill sets that you can develop. And that's
Mm-hmm.
one of them. And so you just have to get your reps in just like you do at the gym. You don't come
Mm-hmm.
in carrying a 50-pound weight. You come in with probably maybe a 5-pound weight and you keep,
Mm-hmm.
keep showing up and keep getting the reps in so that you get stronger and
Yeah.
stronger. Yeah.
Yeah. And so often we overcomplicate it in business because again, we've never done it.
Yep.
We've never done it. So I always tell
Mm-hmm.
people like, all right, what's the thing you want to do? What's the micro version of that? And how
Mm-hmm.
can you start putting in the reps that way? Because business is just literally a skill. Getting good at this is putting in a skill. It's
Yeah.
pivoting, adjusting fast and moving and getting the results.
Yeah. Yeah. And failure is just feedback, right? It's not
Mhm.
final. It's just learning to take that feedback and like you said, pivot quickly and move
Yeah.
forward and take another step.
And
Yeah.
again, I said it earlier, but again, if you were 100 rejections or failures away from your dream life, how quickly would you go to the next no?
Yeah.
Pretty freaking fast. Because you're like, damn,
Yeah.
I know I'm going to make $1 million. I know I'm going to have my dream home. I know I'm going to have my dream body. Whatever it is,
Mhm.
if you knew you were 100 away, you'd be counting those no's. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm at 34. Okay, I'm at 35, right? I'm almost there. You'd be excited to get it. That's reality.
Yeah, yeah. It's where you're putting your brain, right? Are you putting your
Mhm.
brain on all the no's? Or are you putting your brain on, I'm closer to my yes? Like I remember,
Mhm.
so my background was in direct sales for 16 years, and we used to have a whole thing, celebrate the no, go for no, right?
Mhm.
Like through the land of no, you're going to get to your yes. And like every time I
Yeah.
got a no, I'm like, check, great. I'm getting closer to my yes. I'm just going to keep on
Yeah.
moving. Yeah, yeah. I love that. So for the woman who's listening right now who knows that she's made for more, and maybe she's waiting on like the right time or
Mhm.
to be ready. What would you want her to hear? What would you want to say to her to encourage her?
Well, time's going to pass regardless if you're ready or not.
Yeah.
Like, time is going to pass. It doesn't mean you have to like do the whole thing right now. But what is the
Hmm.
one thing that you could do to get closer to your goals? Because you're
Yeah.
waiting for the right time because maybe financially you're not ready, or maybe your kids are not old enough, or maybe you're still at work, whatever it is. Yeah, you don't need to do the whole thing. Just move
Hmm.
bite size at a time. I always tell
Hmm.
people you think of, oh, Crystal quit her job and left, and this, yeah, that was my version. I also have a
Right.
lot of clients who jump into my world in bite size. Hey, I'm going to join
Hmm.
this offer. I'm going to get support for you for this many months. Okay, how can we set this up? Okay, now your whole journey for the next 5 months is sell $10 offers. Great. Just put in the reps, build the skill. When you finish that, come back next year and then we'll work on that. And then they end up quitting their job because now their side hustles replacing their income at their job. Like, it's all bite sizes. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean I have to have all the answers. So many of us wait till the perfect time where it makes sense. It's never going to make sense. It's never going to be the perfect time. It
Right.
it's just not.
Yeah. I always say, like, did you feel ready when you got married? Did you feel ready when you first drove your car for the first time? Did you feel ready when you had a child? No, you don't ever feel ready. It's a decision to be ready, and it's not a feeling that you feel. But I really want to encourage the women that are listening to really take to heart what you're saying, Crystal, about just listening to that's not going away. Like that
Not
thing
gonna lie.
inside you is not going away. You can try to push it down as many times as you want. It's like a pushing a balloon underwater, a ball underwater. It's going to keep
Yeah.
popping up, right? Because there's a reason. You have a unique call in your life, and you
Yeah.
have a unique purpose in this life. And so for you to be able to fulfill that and listen to that voice, and then finding the support. I know you probably found support. I've had coaches, I've been in programs, and so you don't have to go it alone, which is what I love. What the like you started with community, and you're still building community, and you have people inside your community building communities, and so
Mhm.
that's an important piece of entrepreneurship. It is the biggest personal development journey you'll ever go on, and so being able to
Yeah.
have a community to do it with is really, really powerful.
Yeah. One of the phrases we say in our community is entrepreneurship is self-development on crack. I've
Uh-huh.
said
Oh
that for
yeah.
years now, and now I heard somebody else say it at the live event recently. She's like Crystal says entrepreneurship, self-development on crack, but really it comes down to I heard someone say when I became a mom, I got so much advice about postpartum and you're going to lose yourself and good luck building your business because once your baby comes, that all changes. And
That's horrible.
so
Who's
it was
telling
so
you
bad. It
that?
was so bad, like so bad. I heard it for years of, oh, the reason I haven't built a business because I have littles and I can't move at your pace, so I have to focus. It's so bad. So
Yeah.
I got determined to like, no, I'm gonna make so much freaking money and I'm gonna make it with the kid on my hip. And I have.
Yes. Yes.
And And one of the things that I realize is it is true that a lot of moms hit postpartum and resentment. That is very true. I've
Yeah,
looked
for
at the data,
sure.
I've looked at all this.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was reading one of my books, it said, Mom, make sure you take care of yourself because if you don't, you end up resenting the women who do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that was like a mind explosion for me because I'm like, it's the same thing with entrepreneurship.
Yep.
Follow
Yep.
your more because if you don't, you end up resenting the people that do. Oh, why is she doing it? Why it's so easy? I wish I could. No, that's why I go back to the bite-sized chunks. Like maybe for you, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense to launch the whole thing right now. Maybe for
Mm-hmm.
you, it just makes sense to work on the freebie and start launching that freebie.
Yeah.
It's really coming back to what can you do in this moment to step into your more because everyone has a different journey. Everyone's journey is going to be so different, which is why I'm so adamant about the offer suites. One of my clients, her baby's 18 years old. She's like, he's off to college. My whole business is my baby now. One of my other
Yep.
clients is in the season of trying to get pregnant. So we're
Right.
creating an offer suite that feels spacious. Everything's very passive. Everything's very there. So when she goes on maternity leave, she's still making money. Another
Yeah.
client is very like, hey, I want to have a baby in 3 years. So I'm in the hustle season right now. How do I grow my
Mm-hmm.
community? How do I grow my event? How do I get everything big cash injections now so that then it can
Mm-hmm.
just run itself? They're three different journeys, three
Mm-hmm.
different offer suites. I
Yeah.
want to remind people again, no journey is going to be different. The only difference, the only thing that unites us all is the ambition and the more.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
literally it.
Yeah. 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 I'm so thankful for my years of having an online business, and I'm also equally excited about what I have coming up next, you know.
Hmm.
So it's really, that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, and why we get into entrepreneurship is the freedom and flexibility to build what we want, right? And to
Hmm.
do what we want. And so when's the last time for anyone listening that you've asked, what do I want right now?
Hmm.
It's almost like a foreign question because we're so busy thinking about everyone else that you haven't asked yourself that question. So I'd love to like leave you with that challenge is as you've been hearing us talk about made for more and what that might look like. When's the last time you asked, what do I want right now?
Hmm.
Not just what do I need or what should I do, but what do I actually want right now in my
Yeah.
life in this season with the season that you have, and be really honest about it. And then, like Crystal said, just what's one tiny step you can
Hmm.
take to move forward with that, with that knowledge that you have now. So well, we could
Yeah.
talk forever. You're so easy to talk to. I love everything about what you do, and I'm so glad that we were able to connect. I'm so glad that Megan kind of recommended that you and I connect. So I can't wait to also come on your podcast and have a conversation there. But if you could leave the listeners just one final like encouragement to all the moms and entrepreneurs that are out there listening, what would you want to tell them today?
I want to remind them like the world needs you. I
Mm,
say this because I heard this story a long time ago that imagine God has this beautiful version of you, like who you were truly meant to be. And it really gets me emotional when I think about it. But they said if God had this beautiful version of you crafted and then you pass and then you show up and God's like, oh, look at this person. And you're like, oh, who is that? Well, that's who you were supposed to be if you actually trusted me and moved.
yeah, yeah.
When I'm presented with that person, I really want to recognize. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly me. That's exactly what I did. That everything that you have there, I did it. I
Mm-hmm.
really want to remind you, like, if the more is in you, it's for you. If the dream is in you, it's for you. You were chosen for a purpose. There's no an accident that you, out of all your friends, have the weird idea to launch this thing. And no, you were chosen.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
were chosen, and somebody out there needs your voice, how you sound, how you look. The other thing that I hear often is, oh, well, I don't look like the speakers. And this is literally me. I went to an event in 2021, no, 2022. Every single speaker. I'm 5'3". I am darker
Oh, me
skin.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm five
I'm a
three.
shorty.
I have dark hair. Right now it has a little bit of lights in there, but we spoke every single speaker on that stage was 6 foot blonde, long, blue-eyed hair girl. Again,
Hmm.
beautiful women. And
Yeah.
ironically, when we took the picture, I was the last one to get on stage because I was over there in the back and everybody lined up, so I was at the end. If you covered that side of the picture, there was nothing missing. You couldn't even
Mm.
tell I was there.
Yeah.
That really dawned on me when I came back home and it did something to my confidence. I was like, oh, I don't look like everyone. I'm also
Yeah.
like more curvier than everyone. Like I don't look like everyone. And ironically, the event host had a form and she was like, well, who's your favorite speaker? What was the thing? She's like, about 60% of the people chose you, Crystal.
Hmm.
She's like, so you say it all the time, but people need somebody that looks like you and sounds like you because they got permission. One of the things that she got was, I love that all your speakers were different and everybody said this. And it really, like, what it did to my heart and what I want to remind everybody is they need you.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
else could say exactly what you say, but your people need you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you
That's so
say it, how
true.
your sassiness, your edginess, how you look, how you sound. So that is your qualification of your ideal people. It's not your disqualification. I don't look like them. No, you were never meant to look like them.
No,
You were meant to look
no.
like you, and the world really needs you. How you are, how you sound, all of it. So do that what you will. Let that fall heavy on your shoulders, and it should fall heavy on your shoulders because it is a big deal.
Yeah, it is. Be you because everyone else is taken, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Crystal. This was amazing. I know they're going to love this episode. And I just appreciate you taking the time to come on, be vulnerable, and share your story. It's amazing.
Of course, thank you so much for having me. And anybody who has a question, anything, my DMs are always open, and I'm here to support you guys in any way that I can.
Yeah, we'll put the links to everything in the show notes, but do you want to tell them like where is the best place for them to connect with you?
I live on Instagram, so if you just follow me on
Okay.
Instagram at Cristal.Jacobo. I also have a podcast. I talked earlier about the energy episode. There's an episode, I'll send you the link. That's all energy and how you receive like your frequency. I can do a whole
Yeah.
thing. That's one of like my episodes that everybody loves when we do a whole breakdown of receiving and frequency.
Okay. Awesome.
Mhm.
All right, friends. Well, I'll catch you on our next episode. Well, that's a wrap, friends. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I really hope it met you right where you are and gave you some encouragement for your day. Could you do me the biggest favor and leave me a rating and review? Seriously, it's the best way for you to support the show. And while you're there, be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Thanks again. And until next time, I am believing in you always.